It tastes good. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is another segment of my Paranormal Storytime series that I am doing every week until the week of Halloween, the last week of October. I have some hot vanilla chai tea with me right here to help me speak more clearly, and it's just really good. Here in El Paso, autumn has definitely came. It has been very cloudy, cold, a lot of rain lately, which is super wonderful because usually it's still really hot around this time, and unexpectedly autumn decided to show its face. Today was just beautiful. I've been spending my autumn exactly as I've wanted. Today my boyfriend didn't have to go to work, so we cuddled all day, slept. I lit this really amazing candle. We fell asleep during this really cold weather. I am all autumn right now. Anyways, last week I uploaded my first Paranormal Storytime video. I hope you guys really liked it, and if you haven't checked it out, I will link it somewhere around here so you guys can check it out. I am ready to tell you guys several experiences in one house, which takes place at my dad's house. So if you're ready for Paranormal Storytime, let's get right into this video. So the first experience I can remember started when I was turning 12 or 13. I don't remember the exact year, but I do remember that this night was actually my birthday, and I felt I was old enough to stay home alone. I usually don't do like parties or anything for my birthday. I don't know. I just really wanted to stay home that day. I wanted to watch Disney Channel because the Jonas Brothers were really lit on Disney Channel around this time. So my idea of the perfect birthday was just staying in, watching Disney, and eating the humongous ice cream cake that my mom had bought me from Baskin Robbins. My mom had went out that night, and my dad was working because back then he was a DJ, so it was a Friday night or Saturday night, and he had to go work. So I was alone until 2 in the morning. I was watching TV, eating my ice cream alone in my room, and living at this house was rather new for us. I think this was very close to the time that we had just bought this house, and it was pretty empty and whatever. So I was not really afraid to be alone. I really love to be alone a lot, so I was super hyped about just getting to stay home alone without anyone having to watch me. It got to around midnight when I started to hear things from the back of the house. So this is how the house is laid out. You walk in through the front, it's the living room, my dad's room is right next to it. Then you go into the kitchen, and in a short little hallway right next to the kitchen is my room. My room is right at the corner of that little hallway. Then it goes into this really long hallway to the back of the house where the one restroom lays in the back. So I started hearing noises from the back of the house, and at first I was just like, okay, you're totally just trying to scare the shit out of yourself or something. And then I started to lower the volume on the TV, and these noises were legit. They were very loud, and that's when I froze. My body was just so tense. I was so scared because these noises were so loud. I was 100% convinced somebody had broken into the house. I was terrified, so my immediate reaction was to turn off the TV, and hide in the back of my room away from the door. And I stayed like that quiet for a whole 25 minutes. Someone was literally in the back of the house walking in that hallway, and I was so scared. And until I didn't hear noises anymore, I was risky, and I just decided to open the door and check it out, because I waited a good amount of time and I didn't hear anything anymore. So I finally got the nerve to go to the back of the house, and no one was in there. No one. The doors were completely locked. I went to the front of the house. The doors were completely locked, and no one was in there. So I didn't think anything paranormal at that time. I was just thinking, oh, Sarah, you scared the shit out of yourself. Like, you probably just, I don't know, heard the neighbors or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was like the first experience I could think of at that house. So this next experience, I was already 19 probably, or even 20. And my dad was with his ex-girlfriend at this time. She was staying with us. And it was also around midnight. My dad was already asleep, and his girlfriend, they were asleep in their room. And I was up listening to music in my room, laying in my bed. And I had thought I heard something. So immediately, my reaction is to turn off the music, be in suspense, wait for it. And as I waited for it, I heard it again. But where did I hear it from? Right above me. I was like, okay, that's weird. The roof is like creaking, or this is just creaking. So I laid back down, I relaxed, and I was like, well, that was whatever. It was really nothing. And then I heard what was 3 hard steps. I don't think it was knocking, but immediately my thoughts were, someone is on the roof. It was loud. It was on my ceiling, footsteps, like someone had run right across my room from the roof. So immediately I jumped out of bed. I ran to my dad's room, and usually I really don't want to wake that guy up when he's asleep, because he is not a very happy person when he is woken up. So I usually, if it wasn't important, I wouldn't have woken him up for anything, but I did. I was 100% sure someone was on the roof. So I woke him and my dad's girlfriend up. My dad immediately went outside, and he was looking for someone, and he was pretty much yelling to scare off whoever it was. And I had even called the cops. That's how sure I was someone was on our roof. I don't think this was the first time I had heard it. I think I faintly heard this a while back, but it was not as clear as this. I don't have an attic or anything like that, so this was directly on the roof. And the cops didn't go to our house, but they passed by with the light, and my dad didn't find anyone at all. So that was crazy. Just how fast we moved, how fast I went to his room, how fast he got up and went outside to go look for this person. There is no way in hell we would have missed this person. We would have at least caught someone jumping our brick wall or running from our house. There was nobody. So this next experience was nothing like the other 2 that I had just told you. I did not remember this experience until a couple days ago. I was having paranormal talk with Tiffany, aka Gothic Wicca. We were just talking about stuff. I was telling her some of my stories, And as I was talking to her, this memory quickly came back at me. This is not something I had planned for Paranormal Storytime because I didn't remember. And I think I know why. I had only remembered this experience one other time in my life. I think I tried to suppress this memory because of how terrifying I felt when this happened. Now, this happened, I was probably around the same age when I heard someone running across the roof. It was around this time, I believe. And a lot of bad things were happening already. This was the point in my life where things were going really bad all of a sudden, and I'm just going to point out that this has a lot to do with the last video that I uploaded about Paranormal Storytime, and I'm not really going to go into that story unless you guys really want to know. You guys can let me know, and I will go ahead and make a whole nother video about how this goes in hand with the other video and how it all connects and stuff like that. This happened a day or two before I ended up in the hospital for a really long time. And I think this is why I really couldn't remember that this happened, because my time in the hospital was so traumatic. I had completely forgotten about this experience right before. So weird things were already happening, right? And I was cleaning my room. I was putting up crosses for the reason that things were getting really bad and weird in my life. Specifically, I decided to put up a cross in my closet because, I don't know, I felt really weird about my closet. I feel like every time I was asleep, someone was peeping from there. I just always had that feeling. I don't know why. I've never had that kind of feeling with any other closet or room that I had. So I wanted to put up a cross in there. I took it off from a necklace I had, and I don't exactly remember how I was putting it up because it was a wooden cross. So I might have tried, I don't know. I don't remember. I really don't remember. But I secured it because it was wooden, it was thick, so I know I really secured the cross I had put up in my closet. And so I put it up and I was turning around to go finish cleaning up because my room was a mess. I was just trying to put things in order and stuff like that. So I hear something from my closet. The cross had fallen. Clearly, I thought, okay, I did not secure this cross enough. So I turned back to my closet to get the cross so I can get it and try to make it more secure. And keep in mind, there was a bunch of crap on my closet floor because I was cleaning, and so it must have fallen somewhere in there. I kept looking for it and it was not there. Because of what happened next, I've never really told anyone besides Tiffany what happened, because I've always felt like no one would really believe me. So saying it out loud is so weird, and saying it on camera is weird. So what happened when I couldn't find the cross on the floor? I turned around and the cross was laid on my dresser, right on top of my dresser. It was not in the closet. Something had moved it, got it from a closet, and somehow it just... And after this experience, I told you guys I ended up in the hospital a day or two later for a long time. My dad had told me that while I was in the hospital, my grandma went to go visit him at the house, and I don't know, I thought that was weird because this was my grandmother from my mom's side, and just the fact that she went to go visit my dad when she really doesn't have a relationship with him or anything. Not that they're on bad terms, they just really don't talk. So I guess she wanted to try and bring him some comfort while I was in the hospital. She said that while she was there, she saw faces on the floor, demonic faces. And that's really weird that she had said that, because I've never heard anything like that from my grandmother before. And this is what my dad had told me. She said that she was seeing demonic faces all over the floor. So I don't know if this was some kind of, I don't know. I can't explain that. And just after this event, my life went to complete shit. These were the hardest times of my life. And I went through so much. My dad himself developed depression because of the fact I was in the hospital. And because of his depression, he lost his job. We lost the house. And we were both homeless. Oh, not completely homeless. He went to go live with someone else, some of our other family. I went with my mom, who was staying with my grandma, so I was living in a house with 9 other people, had no room, had no privacy, and I developed massive depression. So, yeah, what my dad did was he rented out this house, and these people had a lease for a good amount of time. The people who rented this house, so like 8 months later, they wanted to leave. They wanted to leave because they had their own experiences in this house, and they didn't tell my dad what they experienced. So I'll never know what happened, but me and my dad were really grateful to get this house back despite what was going on. Keep in mind that these people did bless the house. They had their own reverend come in and bless it. When we moved back in, my dad was 100%. My dad was on getting holy water, put it all over the house, and even though I knew he put holy water himself, I would get the holy water myself, and I would do my own blessings, chants, prayers, all of that. And after all of that, I never experienced really anything. You could actually feel this house become a lot more peaceful. Me and my dad's anxiety, because he suffers anxiety too, we definitely became much more calmer. Our life began again, basically. And really, I beat what was left of my depression at this house. I battled what was left of my depression in this house, and I feel like because of that, because I brought in light and a greater purpose, God, if you will, into this place, into my heart, sincerely this time, because back then I wasn't really too sincere about all of this. And this house is no longer nothing what it used to be at all. This house is now very warm. I love going back to this house, to my dad's house, It is a really happy home. It's comforting. The nights that I stayed there, nothing. It is very peaceful and happy now. So I feel like you definitely can beat these kind of things. And yeah, that's basically the story about how we were driven out of our house and we were able to overcome whatever it was that had came into our life, and things just started working out again. Thank you guys for watching the second episode of my Paranormal Storytime. I'm excited for next week's episode, and I hope you click that subscribe button and click the little notification bell so you can stay up to date when I post my videos. And if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave comments and experiences. Feel free to just share your stories too. And I will see you next time. Bye!